Rosie Rosen, who's been with us all week and who's been with Alan March all week. And with Alan, I'll be taking over the baton from him for the final 2 days, and certainly looking forward to what's to come before yesterday's break, Paul. We had some excellent action in the opening 5 days or so, and we're hoping for a fitting 2 days to finish as well.
This has been absolutely fantastic, Jono. The Czech Republic have absolutely shocked the world with their action, with the way they played, with the way the community and the nation, the city of Ostrava, have fallen in love with this game and this team. And we'll see that later tonight when they play the USA in their semi-final game. Canada is playing Korea in their semi-final game. It should be fairly straightforward, Canada and US to the final. But we never know, because you still have to play the game, Jono. You never know.
Well, the two teams about to come onto the ice. First, it's Norway greeted to the crowd, which may be far from capacity now, but goodness me, later on tonight, it'll be far from that when we have the United States taking on the Czech Republic. But Italy coming out onto the ice as well. These two have been matching each other more or less stride for stride in recent years, with Norway finishing 4th at the last World Championship and Italy 4th at Pyeongchang. When they played each other at Pyeongchang, it was the opening game on day one, and that had to go to a penalty shootout. Overtime and penalty shots potential here, but we're a long way from that as the two teams line up on their respective blue lines. And the atmosphere really being pumped up for this one. I know we're going to have problems later on with the crowd and hooters, but certainly the in-venue announcement system as well and the music making it very difficult to hear things up here in the commentary position.
Yeah, you know, the Norwegian fans might be small in numbers, but they're loud in cheering. They love this Norway team. I've played them for a number of years, and they'll be ready.
Well, the referee is Andrew Bethman of the United States of America. Is the main man in the middle, Brendan Lewis, also assisting him. And the Finn there as well, Larry Italia. So the two captains just shaking hands as we look at the Norway team, and it's Johan Gronli who gets the nod in goal for them. Both he and Eric Haugen new to the Norway squad and have been sharing ice time over these championships so far. And captain is Remy Solberg as well, the number 17, Einar Pedersen, the defender, of course, is so prominent in the Norwegian ranks. It seems like he's been around for more or less forever, as Espen Hegda just gets ready and hoping that his team can topple Italy and get 5th place here. He knows it's difficult with so many challenges around them, like the Czech Republic and Korea, as we'll see later on. These two teams are wanting to get back up into the top 4. Italy no different, with Latino Stalitano, the man in goal for them, ahead of Gabriel Arado. Again, a team that like to change their goaltenders when need be. Luca Cavaliera is the captain on the second line of defence here, but all eyes on number 9, Sanjo Calagaris, on the forward line to try and get the goals to spearhead Italy to 5th place, and certainly his coach, Massimo Lorento, will be smiling at the end of that. There we have Gronli in goal for Norway, and it's different, isn't it, what Norway have done here? They've come with 2 new goaltenders, rather than embed 1 new one with an experienced one there as well. 2 new ones straight away. Yeah, and you know what, the goaltending, I want to be critical, but the goaltending has not been great for the Norwegians. I'm used to the great Roger Johansson, who was a goaltender when I played against him, and he would hold the team in games. And that's kind of what happened last night. They played great against the Czech Republic, and then there was a goal that probably should have been stopped, and then the Czech just took over from there, Jono. Well, puck drop then, starting off the penultimate day of action here at Ostrava 2019. And already the Italians there just having to scoop the puck back to try and thwart any Norwegian present forward. Here's Pedersen picking up the puck now. He's forced into a tight area, but keeps it alive very well in the offensive zone. Oyse just nearly losing grip there with his sledge on the ice, and Italy should do well here to clear around the backboard forward out their own defensive zone.
Big hit in the corner there. Pedersen, that's a set play. He'll fire it off the boards and let his player sneak in fast to negate the icing.
Except they're trying to recover it on the near side. Quite with him as well. Italy trying to get their teeth in early on, but certainly Norway with the territorial advantage in the first minute. Most of the play has been the wrong side of Italy's blue line, but maybe they get the break now. Calagiera's trying to bear down, but Norway sweep up.
This is the one thing that I have not been used to, nor a lot of people that see Rolf Einar Pedersen, the mistakes that he's made. He's getting older, he's 49 and he's tired, but he's been around forever, and he was arguably one of the best, if not the best in the world back in the day.
Well, Bacca has picked up possession, the Norwegian top scorer threading it back and trying to be the assist man this time, but Calagiera's was back there, and maybe an Italian break on. Larch trying to find Calagiera's, but it just evades him, and it'll be Norway to get their sticks on the puck. Yeah,
no icing as it went off a Norwegian sled. Norway's had 90% of the play so far, Jono.
Yeah, certainly Norway with possession and most of the play as well inside the Italian part of the ice. But icing called on this occasion, and Italy with a chance now to get numbers forward down the other end.
Right, this is hard to play in a 5-6 game. Both teams are a little upset and disappointed that they didn't get a chance to play in the medal round. They're both good teams. They've both been there. They just want to take a deep breath and have some fun today.
Yeah, you do feel as though pressure is off both teams. This one not really having a bearing on any potential Paralympic Games coming up, like the previous World Championships. And like you say, Rose, it is a chance just to enjoy it out there.
Yeah, you want to do that. And so far, they've been trying to long stretch passes, which resulted in 2 icings back-to-back. You don't want to do that, because anytime you give the Italians a chance to set off of a face-off, you could be down 1-0.
Well, the Italians with a second face-off, still trying to keep her alive, but Norway have kept firm. It's unfortunate for them that Solberg couldn't quite locate where the puck was.
A little sloppy right now.
Really scrappy start to this game, but maybe Solberg can change that. Was he held up there? Play continuing, and Solberg will get round the back of the net and pull it back. Maybe a chance for Bugler, but again he just got the puck stuck under his sledge, and it was superb defensive work from Adichie there, who ultimately managed to find the shovel to dig it out.
Nice pass, just missed by the Italian forward.
Now trying to break forward in a vicious range effort there, and well, you have to question some of the positioning from Connolly. You really looked like he was struggling as he stretched down to his right-hand side.
And that's been the problem for the goaltenders for Norway so far.
And do you reckon Italy coming into this game have spoken about that before and get a shot away early no matter what the range is and test these goaltenders?
You can't score if you don't shoot. That is 100% proven fact.
Lanka finding Larch, who's had a successful World Championships, 2 goals and 2 assists next to his name. We'll be looking to add to that tally here. No icing calls, it comes into the corner.
Nice hit.
Big hit coming in on Kaufman there. It was Bacca who was showing he could do it up towards his own goal. It was down the other end as well. Italy now trying to encroach forward and make something happen. Maybe buoyed by that little shakiness in the Norwegian net, trying to thread their way forward this time, but it doesn't find a white jersey. Bacca is back there to try and turn defence into attack.
Bacca's played quite well this tournament. He had a couple of great chances last night against the Czechs, just missed. And that one leaks out, it's going to be an icing. Ooh, great hustle by the Norwegian, Jono.
And they've kept it alive here in a dangerous area, but unfortunately there were no red jerseys up there. They were using that as an opportunity to make changes on the near side, and therefore no one was able to react quick enough to get forwards.
Well, that could have bit them, but nice play to get back.
Bacca, who's been everywhere on the ice, it seems, in the opening 5 minutes or so.
Kind of a little hard luck for him. He hasn't scored a big goal yet, but he's been everywhere in the offensive zone.
Now Calagiera's, who's certainly not scored as many as he would have liked. Got 7 at the last World Championships, not near that so far here. Just chancing his arm, trying to dump it round the back and see if there were anyone in a white jersey willing to get it. Can't keep it alive in the offensive zone this time, so we'll bide his time. And Italy are just keeping control of the puck here, trying to get a grip on this game. We expected an even start, Paul, and we've got that so far.
Yeah, there's been a few chances in either end. Pedersen really has to get it going. I think if he really picks up to his old play, even just for 10, 15 minutes, you might see the Norwegians put one in.
Macri scooping it around the perimeter. And, that should go all the way. Icing it goes.
Those ones really get to me. You obviously know that the defensive player is doing that slow push. He's wasting time and he still gets the benefit of the doubt for the icing. I'm not a big fan of that, Jono.
It means that Italy are rooted inside their own defensive third here with this face-off. Looking at the stats for Italy's defeat to Korea by 6 goals to 3 in the quarter-final, and their face-off percentages were really poor reading. It just seemed that Korea had that extra bite in those 50-50 battles. Norway trying to come out with similar dominance now. Pedersen coming into a dangerous area, but easily dealt with by the Italians, who just don't have the pace to catch it up down the other end, but it will stay alive, and Kalagiris won't give it up, but Bakker back there again. And you do feel as though, certainly with the way the hill exchanges have gone, that, you know, when Pedersen goes and is no longer at his best, he's treading up the next generation, and Bakker really could grab the reins of this side.
There's no doubt about that. The one thing I like so far is the hustle by the forwards to negate all these icings by both teams. That really shows you that they're hustling in a 5-6 game that a lot of people would think they would just fall asleep in. I'm really impressed.
Score 0-0 here, Norway against Italy. Italy then in the battle with Norway, 0-0 the scores early on in this first period. And Italy doing a lot better in the battle on this occasion, and maybe setting free down the other end as well. Just need to hold it up here as the challengers come in from soon up from behind. But Italy trying to get the numbers forward, and they've done well there, De Paoli.
They've had the action in the last couple of minutes. They really haven't had any shots other than that one. I can't remember any by Norway.
Well, Italy now are beginning to get a little bit more of a grip in this game. It's their captain with it, Cavalier. Trying to find a space on the far side, but Endeley wasn't ready to gather that. And this is an opportunity as well for both sides to maybe use some of the third liners that hadn't played earlier on in the week. And Cavalier dumping it there.
And that's what I heard from the Norwegians, that they were going to play everybody. There's a few players that haven't played a lot. They're going to play everybody, including their young lady who has, she's held her own this tournament. I'm impressed.
Yeah, Lena Schroeder out on the ice at the moment, but in defensive duty, and you have to credit there Johan Grolin for making sure that one didn't spill out of his grasp.
That is a very unorthodox way to play that puck. You'd be much better off. You see how he dives out with his... There's no need to do that. Stay square to the puck, let it hit your stick, then you have the option of freezing it or moving it. Once you dive out for it, it could leak out of your glove, and then you're in serious trouble because you're laying down, Jono. You can't get back up. I don't get that. That's very not fundamentally sound.
Could you say it's an erratic trait that maybe a younger goaltender may have?
Absolutely. He's getting nervous. The world's your last game, your last chance. You're diving out, but it's not the great play to do it that way.
Well, thankfully his defensemen have recovered on his behalf, and Bakker once again, the man who's taking charge and striding down the centre here. Pedersen just not being able to bring it under his spell the first time, but second bite the cherry will, and it dumps it towards Celentano, who once again just casually lays to his side and gets that under his grasp.
Yeah, I think we got the gentleman who's running the music in this drink. He's might have a hearing issue because, wow, the volumes are cranked.
Maybe testing out the kit for tonight when it really will need to be at full tilt. Don't forget, both semi-finals coming up this evening, and we can't wait for those. As here we have the matter of 5th place in these World Championships. Both teams, no doubt, would have wanted to have been back tonight, but they're here now this afternoon and making a good fist of it, just awaiting the first goal. But Norway on the counter-charge were led by Oyset, trying to change that now. He's got Varnes there and Pedersen as well, but he can't find either of them. And it seems like that both teams are just struggling at the moment to keep their cool, keep their calm, and make the right decisions in vital areas. Yeah,
there's a lot of sloppy play in the neutral zone by both teams, and I think that's just nerves and the fact that they're playing for a 5-6 game when they really wanted to play in the semis later today and tonight.
Now it's loose in the neutral zone. Planker doing well in the circle there, and just flicking it from the right blade onto the left, dumping it long. And it is one feature that those I know who may be watching para ice hockey for the first time this week have noticed. When you've got the two sticks, you have got that ability to be clever with your stick handling and utilise that sort of ambient extras play almost. And so many, Pedersen, one of them in his prime, perfect at that.
Yeah, the best players in the world, and you're going to see that later today with some of the Czechs and some of the Koreans, but then the Canadians and Americans take it to another level with guys like Roble and Roybal, pardon me, and Farmer on the U.S. team, and Westlake and Bridges on the Canadian team. They can really go left to right, and makes it very difficult for defensemen to know what's going on.
Bakker getting the loose change on this one, and the space for Varnes, if he can spot him on the near side, he has as well. Great stick handling from him, and they've managed to stay on side here, Norway. Varnes trying to make sure it doesn't get away from him, but maybe just did it a little bit too long there, and Cavaliera came in with the check.
He'd be better off taking that shot about 3 seconds before.
It was positive stuff, no doubt, from Espen Hegda's side. This game toing and froing at the moment. It's difficult to call who has the upper hand. Here's Pedersen, who's now beginning to find a little bit of space, and maybe form as well as he grabs this one by the scruff of the neck, just dragging Cavaliera out with him. But the pass maybe a bit loose there, and Bakker really having to work for it, but work for it he will. But no one there in red in the corner to recover.
Yeah, old school Pedersen, he would have taken that to his left hand, busted around the outside, come in and ripped it under the bar.
Now Italy the ones trying to encroach down the other way. Pedersen in a good position here to toss it towards the near side with Bugler. But he gets checked as well by Cavaliera. In fact, this one is coming in. Scores 0-0 between Norway and Italy. Well, a penalty given to Norway, and it has seen Magnus Bugler be put into the penalty box for the next 2 minutes.
I think what happened there, Jono, is the Italian hit the Norwegian in the corner. He brought his arm up, a little bit of a rough there, forearm shiver, and he's sitting for two. See what the Italians can do here.
Well, here's Planka trying to get it onto the left blade. It's parried by the goaltender, who met that Grönlin, but probably not in the way he would have liked. And Norway clear it long, and wise from them just to reset themselves and get a bit of respite.
Yeah, they're giving up too many. The problem with the Norwegian goalies right now, they're giving up too many rebounds. That's got to be a clean stop.
And call made for offside there.
Yeah, the sloppiness in the neutral zone is the problem, as everybody knows. The neutral zone is where you lose and win the game. They have to play sound hockey in the neutral zone.
Well, Italy are the only team at these World Championships not to have scored on the power play so far. Can they change that here in their final game? Cavalier trying to just find the far side, and again, Grönlin meets, and probably his most successful save so far.
Going to make two young goalies. Do you see how he tips over? There's no reason to tip over there. Stay square, stay straight up. It's going to be an easy glove save, but when he tips down like that, Jono, the chances are, if the puck leaks up a little higher, he's in serious trouble. Remember, the huge difference between able body and sled is you can score over the goalie's head and under the bar.
Well, Norway really having to show some grit here, and halfway through the penalty kill, so far, so successful. But Italy threatening maybe to go up the gears a little bit more now with Planka. There's got Calagiris there as well. It's going to be Larch to try and find him at the far stick, and Norway again just plugging up that centre, and the defending Grönlin's crease commendingly well.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're playing it well. They're just blocking up the middle, blocking it up, making sure you can't get a clean shot, and then throwing it down, wasting a good 20, 30 seconds.
Macri taking it some serious distance there, and releasing it towards the near side where the battle is on. Norway just seem to be stronger right now, and players at the boards. And again, simple, getting the puck, dumping it long, and it's 10 seconds left of this penalty kill, and killed it. They certainly have.
Yeah, that was a good kill. They'll be happy with that.
Varnes now, and there's going to be a penalty coming against Italy this time. And Italy, who are the most penalised team so far at these World Championships, have picked up their 7th for the week.
Yeah, that was a silly penalty. The puck was coming out of the zone. He caught him with his sled, which is teeing. One of the few things that is different than able body hockey, using the end of your sled, kind of as a weapon, teeing and hitting the side of the opposing team's sled, and that's a teeing penalty. Can't get that in able body hockey.
Stephen Kaufman there with that offence. So just under 3 minutes remaining of the first period. 0-0 the score between Norway and Italy in the battle for 5th place at the Ostrava Arena. These 2019 World Power Ice Hockey Championships.
Sorry, Jono, nice play there to get that puck down.
Well, it could lead to quite a successful attack as well. Bugler just arcing back in that far side. Back on the ice and trying to make an impression. Now it's Pedersen. There's a couple just sniffing around the crease here if Pedersen can find them, but Italy defending well so far in that block. And having to be patient and recycle it. Pedersen now trying to find the angle on the far side. It nearly slipped through for Bugler.
Good effort to see him down low by the back door, just missed.
And back up, just carelessly giving that one away, and Italy with the chance to disperse in towards the offensive zone. Varnes on hand to just bring things down a little bit and deflate things once more. Nice play from Bugler, and there's a third man charge here in the form of Pedersen, who lost a stick, but it's recovered anyway. Maybe a chance now for Solberg. Just finding the right moment and opting to go for the teammate, who keeps it over the blue linebacker and finds it far stick, which Bugler just couldn't quite reach. But Norway knocking on the door at the moment, and they look like the most likely to score in the final 90 seconds. Italy holding firm, but they're doing a good job of it. Yeah,
Pedersen broke his stick. That's why he couldn't pick it up. You can't play with a broken stick. And that's a big problem in sled hockey because you're skating with your sticks.
There's always Seth powering forwards. Norway finding a bit of joy in central positions here. And Italy holding them up right now. Still on the penalty kill, only for a few seconds longer, Italy. But they've done a very good job, just like the Norwegians did just moments before. And Italy back at full strength and maybe trying to have a bit of a sting in the tail here. Kaufman back on the ice and making an impression. And Norway holding up the Italians once again.
Good defensive play by Solberg. You want to come back checking, you want to come back and help your players, could be a chance.
Now Solberg has got goal side, he's on his own. He still tried to reverse it though. You could see him desperately looking for a teammate. There didn't seem to be one forthcoming. And then Norway at 6s and 7s going back. And this could be a chance for Caligaris to pounce. The angle isn't great, but he hit the pipe.
Off the crossbar with a beautiful shot, Jono.
That is an outrageous angle to go for goal. And with the goaltender beaten, Caligaris is mightily unfortunate there not to hit the back of the net.
But he shot, and that's the biggest thing. The Norwegians are not shooting. Solberg, you got a chance. Go for it. Why are you slipping the puck back? Take that shot.
Well, what an opportunity for Italy right at the end of the half, or the period, should I say. But it has to be said, very even, all in all. And the pace of that, even on the slow-mo there, it's like a laser towards goal.
Yeah, great shot, absolutely great shot. He just hard luck for hitting the crossbar, but a great chance to shoot the puck. That's what you got to do, shoot, shoot, shoot.
So at the end of the first period here at the Ostrava Arena, it's Norway 0, Italy 0. The closest we came to a goal there from Caligaris, but no goals in that first period. And you have to say, Rosie, really over the course, it is an even reflection, isn't it, of how both teams have gone about this. Bit scrappy, not too much quality, and that's why we've got no goals.
Yeah, it was a little sloppy at the beginning in the neutral zone. Both teams had a couple of good chances. Here's one of them. Right now, Solberg throws it out. Good back checking by the Italians. Here it is again. Good hustle. Picks the puck up, throws it out. Good attempt. Just solid back checking by the Italians. Here's a chance that I think he should have taken a shot. And there's just a simple shot. Not going to go through. Drop pass. You're not going to score from there, especially on the ice. You might do what the Italian did, try to go high, and that's where you're going to get the opportunity to possibly put one in. This is the shot across. The Norwegian goalie dives out. Unorthodox, I don't know if I would do it that way, but he did it and he stopped it. That's all that really counts. The Italians moving the puck around. Another long shot. They've obviously watched the Norwegians play and they know that the goaltending is suspect. Long shot, big rebound. You don't want to let those rebounds go. And this is the big shot. Really down low by no angle and an absolute. This is Norway's problem. Somebody's got to talk to him. You can't leak down and let that opening for a goal.
And as we can see there, that the shots on goal count a lot higher for Italy, who are really trying to maximise Johan Grunlin's experience, but they haven't been able to achieve it so far and beat him and hit the back of the Norwegian net. So the scores at the end of the first period, Norway 0, Italy 0.
Thank you.
Welcome along to the Ostrava Arena. We're at the end of the first period here at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships 2019. It is Norway 0, Italy 0 in the battle for 5th position. Jonathan Bell and Paul Rosen with you for this one. And, well, blanks fired in that first period. And you really have to say, Rosie, it was a case of the defences being on top.
Yeah, I think they're feeling each other out. Wasn't a lot of great chances. The best chance came almost at the end when the Italian came down and almost from the goal line whipped the shot and hit the crossbar, and he had the Norwegian goalie totally beat. He caught it off the bar, and I think it was an inch lower. It's going to be 1-0 for Italy. They have to keep shooting. That's obviously they know that. The Norwegian goalie is just getting to really know the game, and it's going to get better. You can't be great overnight. You know, there's a big difference between the great goalies. Obviously, Steve Cash is at the very, very, very top. Dominic Larocque and Corbin Watson and the goaltender for the Czechs who played last night, they're just below Cash.
Well, both sets of players are back out onto the ice and ready to go for the second period. Will the deadlock be broken in the next 15 minutes, I wonder? Certainly, it's been a bit of a cagey, scrappy one so far. Both teams have had a power play, but the opposition has done a very commendable job on both occasions of making sure that those penalties have been killed. But we are all set for the second period here at the Ostrava Arena. Norway 0, Italy 0. Puck drop about to commence. Here we go then. Will either goaltender be beaten in the course of the next 15 minutes? Certainly Johan Grolin has been a bit shaky so far in the start of this game, but you could say it's nerves, and with every shot you do save, no matter how difficult it is, it does ease your nerves into a game like this.
Yeah, just some fundamental things, little minor things that he has to work on. He'll do it, and he'll be ready for the next big event. You know, it's just a learning curve for some players. You can't just start right away and be to the level you want to be.
Here's back up, maybe a bit of space to unleash a shot, and still Atano did very well to parry it to his right-hand side.
That was a nice save as the Italians shoot it down. It might be icing. It looks like it's going to be called, but that was a real nice play. As hopefully we're going to see that again. Here it is. Good play, and he just lets it go as he's going right. He shoots left. Tricky save for a goaltender. Dives as far up as he can and gets it with his blocker hand and a bit of his catching glove. But that was a really nice play. He almost got caught sleeping, and you could never fall asleep as a goalie in this game.
It's the first time that Stilatano really has been stretched, and it's come 45 seconds into the second period. And no doubt the conversation at the intermission between Espen Hegder and co was about how you can test the Italian stopper, because so far Norway haven't, even though you'd argue they've probably had a bit more of the offensive possession. But Italy on the counter charge have looked dangerous as well. Kalagiris trying to ghost in behind and get inside, and it's a decent stop by the goaltender there, who was almost backtracking into his own net.
Yeah, his angles is what he really has to work on.
Bugler then forcing one out of Stilatano, who doesn't know where it is. Oh, goodness me, his defenseman did well to sweep the crease clear there, because that was a heart-in-your-mouth moment for Italy, but action here at both ends.
And we got a delayed penalty here, and Italy's getting called again. And that was the action in front of the net, where the Italian goalie made the save, but he had no clue where it was. It slipped out, leaked right in front of him. Now this is the play by the Italians. Kind of got that with his blocker and didn't really get it the way he wanted to get it. There's Bogle again. Just look, he's looking behind him going, where is it?
He almost expected it to go in the net, didn't he?
I think it looked like he did. You can never do that. Don't look back.
Well, Emanuele Parolin, you can see, is in the penalty box for the next 2 minutes for that interference there. And, well, Norway with their second power play of the match. Italy once again having more minutes as a foursome, which must really wear it out of you over the course of the week. Pedersen looking shaky, but they've kept it alive, and maybe Backy here looking for his fourth for the tournament. He's got a clear opening, and again Stilatano making the save. Goodness me, he's been made to work early on.
Yeah, he made the save, but he didn't make it clean with his glove, and it slipped down. He didn't see it.
Backer fancies more as he licks his lips. Might assist one this time for Varnes, and again parried by Stilatano into a dangerous area, but no one there to gobble it up.
That was a great blocker stop as he gets it out.
Norway now just forced to try and build it from their own blue line. Bit of respite for Italy, but Norway going at it gung-ho, and Backer leading the charge once again. Wants to go himself. He gets a second bite of the cherry, and again Stilatano gets the save.
Bacca's been the best player of both teams so far. He's had 3 or 4 really good shots, and the Italian goalie's made some big stops. He just kept it in the line.
Yeah, Backer. Well, blocked by Cavalier this time, a real captain's check, as he just made the block sufficiently enough. But Italy on the ropes.
Italian goaltender has played fantastic. 3 or 4 big stops over that power play.
Backer still marauding on here. I don't think even he knows how. Varnes managing to make sure there's still a pulse in the puck, but Italy swipe it clear. This has been much better from Norway.
Sorry, John. They always say that the goaltender has to be your best penalty killer, and the Italian goaltender has been their best penalty killer. What a great job.
Been superb so far, and that was a stretch there for Cavalier. And the space behind him now. This is a chance to be exploited. It's played into the centre, as Stilatano has done it again. Norway can't beat him, and they're not going to have another chance on the power play. And now at the other end, there's maybe an opportunity, but not enough pace there for the man going through, who was Parolin, straight back onto the ice and into the thick of the action. But what a second period we're having here at the Ostrava Arena.
Yeah, 5 minutes of it, just incredible action.
Well, that first period has quickly been erased from our memory, as it's really starting to open up now, and Kalagiris fancies this, and it's a decent stop from Grolin this time, tipping it over the bar.
We've had some great action in the last 3 or 4 minutes. That was a big stop.
Well, don't tell anyone that these two teams don't want this. They are right up for 5th place at the World Championships. Certainly wasn't what they were aiming for at the start of proceedings in the week, but now they're here, they want to make sure that they don't overcome.
Well, you always want to win your last game in any event, whether it's Paralympics or a World Championships. Win your last game, and that's what both teams are trying to do desperately.
The Italians offside there, which means that Norway continue with a bit of room to work with, and Pedersen biding his time before dumping it long around the back of Stilatano's net, but icing the call.
That was just a wasted pass there. They're moving the puck so well and playing so well in the last 5 minutes. Both teams, why would you want to dump it like that? Why would you want to take it and throw it? This was a great chance. Solberg, big stop, big rebound though. They're going to learn that, and they're going to come back and have a forechecker in for that rebound. That was a big save.
Norway have just upped the ante a bit in this second period, and there's going to be
Norway's going in the box. Hammer.
Well, a scintillating start to the second period, but still no scores. That's thanks to Stilatano in the Italian net, but it's still Norway 0, Italy 0 here at the Ostrava Arena. Norway with the power play then, as we resume here, a 5-on-4 in their advantage. Hammer in the box for the next couple of minutes, and now it's Italy's chance to try and make the most of that, because we saw how Norway with their 5-on-4 a few moments ago, Rosie, really grabbed it by the scruff of the neck.
Absolutely, it was a big forechecking on the penalty kill by Backe. He's been the best player. Nice play to force.
Pedersen letting it slip though, and well, you don't want to do that when you've got a man deficit. Italy have turned it over and now look to try and surge forward, but they just don't have that conviction. With possession, not taking enough care with the puck when they approach the neutral zone.
Little things like that, Jono. You have to pick the puck up clean. You have a power play, get it in the zone, move it around, isolate a man, get a shot on goal.
Planka just trying to toss it away. He did do it successfully. Ricochet back from Italian hands, Calageras.
Glove pass. It's going to come outside into the neutral zone. You know, it's hard for me, looking back at some of the great old players from Norway, Bjornstad, Roger Johansson, Tommy Robelstad, you know, Eska Hagen. They had Svedkar Sve. They had a great team, and to see Rolf Einar Pedersen play the way he's playing now, it's hard for me because he was such a great player.
I remember him at the 2017 World Championships in Gangneung, and he was impressive there.
Yeah, I remember him at the 206 gold medal game. He was impressive there too.
Well, chance now for launch maybe. It was a low effort that's ricocheted back out, and that was just a whisker away there from finding the blade of the Italian who was in it. I think it was Antonini.
Yeah, it just leaked by him. Nice chance. Just missed it.
Fine margins here, but for Norway, they'll be satisfied enough with that, just keeping Italy at bay in the corner. And only 10 seconds to go before they're back to full strength, and they're killing this puck very effectively. Maybe not in the area they would have liked, but certainly Italy not being able to make headway, and now they're forced all the way back.
I like the way the Norwegians have killed that penalty. Heavy press.
Now Calageras just trying to motor forward. Norway on the back end of their power play kept a little bit of momentum. Italy want to do the same, but not really been the same sort of power play injected by them. Not enough pace or energy. But maybe Larch can change that now, just waiting for the men to get back on side. He saw the man to his right, not the man to his left, and it will be a face-off.
No, that was a silly play. Dump it in the corner and then regroup. You know, you probably have back at the hotel the Canadians and the Koreans getting ready, the Czechs and the USA getting ready for what should be two great semifinals later today, Jono. I'm excited.
Yeah, every reason to be as well, certainly with a capacity crowd expected for that final match of the night.
It's going to be a tee on the Italians. Just sloppy play. And that's what killed them against the Czech Republic. They had 4 or 5. The Czech had 2 I think 2 5-on-3s, you can't do that. It's you're just shooting yourself in the foot, and that's not good.
Well, they're on 9 penalties for the tournament now, Italy. And what does that sort of demonstrate, Rosie? You know, a team that gives away a lot of penalties, you could easily say ill-disciplined, but is there more to it than that?
No, it's bad discipline. That's exactly what it is, 100%. And I can guarantee you their coach is not happy with it, because there's something about a good penalty. They're bad penalties in bad zones.
Pedersen, space for Varnes here. Can he get on the favoured left? He can. Vital block, though, in the end from Macri.
That's a good block by the Italians. You got to get as tight to your goalie as possible and let as much hit you as possible. That's a big difference between the able-bodied game and the sled game. Your players can stop a lot of shots.
Back up. Just wants to take this single-handedly here, and may do. Stilatano again, his nemesis.
He's made some big stops.
Pedersen, back up. Again, always an option. This time floating on the left, and Pedersen making the outside charge. He wants to assist it for Bogler, and maybe a bit too intricate from the Norwegians, but they weren't too far away from making that perfect. Pedersen, brilliant. Now Bakker. He's going to shoot. Oh, he's actually hit Solberg.
Right in the head. Well, that was hard luck.
And it's really good stuff, this, from Norway. Twice now in this period on the power play. They've shown what they're made of.
Yeah, they're moving the puck around like old-time Norway. That was really nice. No hard luck, they didn't score.
Well, they're enjoying it now here, the Norwegians, but it almost seems to me that the Italians seem to enjoy defending more than they do attacking.
Yeah, they really have to work on the teeing. They've taken, of those 9 penalties, I bet you 5 of them were teeing. That's not good.
Well, this is an effective counter-charge, and it's blasted wide in the end. Not quite sure what the number on the back of the jersey was there. I think it was Larch who's just closing it down now.
That's a huge difference between the game 10 years ago and the game now. 10 years ago, 3-4 guys could have taken a shot from the neutral zone in the air over the net. Now almost everybody can.
Bakker, he certainly can from any distance, and I think that the rest of the red jerseys are going to leave him to it. Pedersen there for support, but Italy again defending very well when it comes to play near the hash mark. And they're going to be back to full strength now.
Killed another penalty.
That seems to be the Italians' best trait, but they've been used to it over the course of the week. How's the 5-on-5 play? That's the real question. Good first contact from the captain, Solberg. Arch in there, just couldn't keep a grip of it. Who's going to be that measured head to pick it up? It's going to be the veteran Pedersen, who almost was going to go all the way, but an offside given, was it?
Pedersen's furious with his teammate. He was gone. The Red Sea parted and he was gone.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to a goal here, but the score's still 0-0. So far in the second period, it's been all about how Santino Stilatano has been able to keep the Norwegians at bay. Norway still knocking on the door, but Stilatano and co have been keeping firm.
Absolutely, he's the best player on Italy right now. Back is the best player on the Norwegians.
Norway, who getting quite a few numbers onto the ice here that maybe haven't been much of a part of proceedings over the course of the week, but you can just tell that they're enjoying it out there when they're on the offensive. Italy, though, do always possess that killer armoury the other end on the counter charge with the likes of Caligiris.
And a long stretch pass, and that's what the Italians are doing. A little different than the Norwegians so far. The Italians are trying that long stretch pass. The Norwegians are now starting to use that neutral zone with speed, headband the puck, come into the zone with some momentum, move it around and try to get a good shot on goal, which they've had some real nice ones.
Italy, not the first time that they are threatening to keep a side to the final period level scoreless. But of course, when they did that against the Czechs, they fell apart, and you wonder if they've got the stamina in there to keep a team at bay for so long and still have the energy to get a goal.
Yeah, it's hard, because that was last night, remember. They didn't have a lot of time to recover. Late game last night, early game today.
Absolutely. And, well, it takes it out of you, particularly when you're using such a particular part of your body. The upper body so vital in para ice hockey to motor your way forward with the two sticks. So tremendous athletes here out on the ice, and it's a busy tournament. They don't need to be told that over the course of the week. You certainly don't need to be told that yourself, Rosie. But yeah, still, they have such impeccable levels of performance.
Yeah, and you know what? This week has been so long for me that I just forgot that yesterday was a day off. And
I was waiting for you to remember.
Yeah, that game was Wednesday. They had all day yesterday, so no excuses. Bad for me. Forgot about that. It's, you know, a lot of games in a short period of time. I had a little bit of a cramp there in my brain.
Well, here we have the Norwegian goaltender having to venture out.
I don't know why you call that. There was nobody around him. He got rid of the puck almost instantaneously. I don't know why he would be out that far with nobody around him, but maybe he just wanted to go for a skate. Thought it was Sunday afternoon in Norway. Take the kids, you know, mother-in-law, have a nice little jaunt on a Sunday afternoon.
Johan Groli certainly has been a bit of a lonely figure in this second period. Not much for him to do. It's his opposite number, Stilitano, in the Italian crease, who's had to keep himself active. But it's about keeping alert, isn't it? You'll know, Rudy, you know, you were, Rosie, trying to say you're part of a good team for such a long time. You won't always be getting shots coming towards you, but when they are, you've got to be ready for it.
Oh, absolutely. There used to be a guy,
Laguerre there nearly just switching it onto the left, but couldn't wrap around it. Solberg, Bugler, side onto goal. Difficult to readjust, but he has, with support as well. Solberg's not stopped. And come all the way back for Hamra. Just waiting on the blue line. Oh, not enough pace on that for Bakker, but he nearly made it work. Just starting to get a bit scrappy again, isn't it? The first part of this period was superb para ice hockey, but since then it seems to have dwindled a bit.
Little sloppy. We're talking about long shots. The Norwegians had a great player, number 7, Eskil Hagen, and he, a couple of times in my career from center, would take this absolutely crazy shot, and he'd beat me over my head and under the bar twice.
Stilitano ready there, had to readjust his body, and Solberg just was ousted out there.
Why he would do that? The puck is right in front of you. Put your hand on it. Eskil Hagen would take this shot, and when he did it the first time in Norway, way back in the day in Lillehammer, here's a shot, and he just let it stay there. He could have put his hand on it so easily. Watch this. Stop. He doesn't know where it is. Oh my God. I swore I'd never let that one in again. And then a year later in Japan, he did the same thing to me from center, over my head and in the bar. It's the most embarrassing thing in the world. He might be watching in Norway. I've had some talks with some of the old players, and they're probably laughing right now.
These two goaltenders will be hoping that nothing untoward like that happens in this one, but it shows you it can even happen to the best, by the best in that case. As the puck seems to be dead on that far side, the officials are going to let things materialise a bit longer to see if it can be recovered. And it can, but maybe those sticks won't be.
This is where players get hurt. You got to blow that down. They're just moving around in the same spot. Oh, he did it again. Don't bend over like that.
Well, the Norwegian supporters are beginning to raise the atmosphere here. but their side are probably the weakest they've been so far in this period. Italy now just trying to finish on the high, and DePaoli again. His sticks just aren't long enough. Second time in this period that's happened.
Just leaked out a little, missed it. Outreach, this is going to come all the way back. That would have been an absolute beautiful play. Just missed them by an inch.
Well into the final minute of the period. It's been a lot more pulsating this than the first, but still yet to get that first goal of this fifth place playoff. Will it be Italy? Will it be Norway? They were so tight together in Pyeongchang 2018, but decision already called here.
Another offside. They're just, you know, Norway's getting so many chances now. I think they're trying to be a little too cute. I think Sasquatch is in the crowd. I didn't know he was living in the Czech Republic now. Sasquatch, cool. You'll see almost anybody at a hockey game.
Yeah, the crowd being shown on the big screen at the moment. They're absolutely loving it. Some of them maybe a bit too much. But the Italians are the ones being shown on the big screen right now. Goodness knows what it'd be like if they were celebrating a goal. But this one, the tension just growing and growing, and you just feel like it's going to come to a crescendo at some point.
Well, we know somebody's going to score at some point, whether it's in the third, in overtime, or in a shootout. Can end 0-0.
I don't think there'll be any time here in the second for it to happen, as Varna's deflected effort just loops over the bar, and that will be that in period 2. And once again, it's a case of no goals, but a little bit different this time. Certainly Norway trying to hammer down that door, but they've come up against their nemesis in Santino Stilitano, whose statistics for that second period make perfect reading. At the other end as well, a bit of work for Johan Grolin to do, but it means that the scores in the fifth place match are Norway 0, Italy 0. Rosie, if you'd have put in a performance like Santino Stilitano's there in the second, you'd be dead happy with that, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. He played great. That was a couple of big stops. Here's Bakke again. He's been the guy that's had so many. Long shot and a great stop. Outstretched hands by Stilitano. Here he comes. Bakke cloud across. He's going right. He shoots left. Stilitano with a big stop. Blocker stop. Here's another one by Bakke. We said Bakke a lot. That one he stopped it, but he'd like to have that a little cleaner. Catches his catching glove and scoots out to the wrong side. Here's the Italians with a chance. Kind of hits the Norwegian goalie and almost leaks out. He's very lucky. Giving up way too many rebounds. Oh, that hit his sled. We didn't even see that when it happened, and that was extremely lucky. Rolf-Einar Pedersen with a nice slip down to Bakke again. He's had almost every shot. Big stop by Stilitano. Pedersen with a slip off, turnaround pass to Bakke. Solberg with a nice screen there. Bogle sends it in. This was a bad one. Stilitano has no clue where the puck, I don't know, maybe if that was like a meatball sandwich, he might have known where it was. I don't know, but it was right in front of him, and he missed it. They didn't go in. It hit the post. You got to know where the puck is as a goalie. I know sometimes it's hard because the sled and the puck is down low, but you got to stop it.
The bout then between Bakke and Stilitano will continue into the final period. You can see how it's affected the shots on goal. Just the one extra from the first period there from the Italians, but as for Norway, look at that, 8 shots on goal from them. And the power plays as well, not yet been successful. Both teams strong on the penalty kill. Italy certainly look as if they enjoy defending rather than the offensive work. So it's all going to come down to the third period. We may have to go beyond that, but the scores at the end of period 2 here at the Ostrava Arena, Norway 0, Italy 0. Third period action coming up very shortly here at the Ostrava Arena, host of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships 2019, where we're coming towards the final 15 minutes of regulation at least for the battle for fifth spot. Norway against Italy. As you can see, still nothing to report in terms of goals, but certainly a lot of goalmouth action, and we are fascinated here, myself, Jonathan Bell and Paul Rosen, to see the bout between Bacca and Stilatano go to a third and final round. But we spoke, Rosie, about Norway offensively, and they've offered a lot in that second period. What do Italy need to do down the other end to have the same sort of threat? Well,
I think Italy, the number one thing they have to do is they have to test the goaltender. They have to shoot the puck. They've done it a couple of times. He is not great on his rebound control. And what I would do, and what I would have talked to them if I was the coach in the second intermission, is let's get in the zone, let's take a shot, let's have another guy or even two fire in for a rebound, and let's put a garbage goal. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be pretty. This is the one thing the young guys don't understand. It does not have to be pretty. It just has to go in.
What do you think the Italian coach Massimo De Rim will be saying now? And we'll say Espen Hegder as well. You're coming to the final 15 minutes of what's been a busy, busy week. You don't want to let it go to waste.
No, I think 100% the Italians, he's going to tell them shoot, shoot, shoot. The Norwegian coach is just going to say, keep doing what you're doing. I think they've had a great period and a half. Maybe they fell asleep for a half the period. But Stilatano is keeping this game 0-0. He's the one that's been... He's their best player, 100% right now. Backe's been the best Norwegian. He's had 3 or 4 really good opportunities. And if he gets, Backe's a good scorer. If he gets another couple of chances, one's going to go in. And Italy just has to shoot the puck.
All set then for the third and final period here at the Ostrava Arena. Norway against Italy coming shortly. Well, shots of all different members of the crowd that have come here to Ostrava to see the first dose of action on this Friday afternoon. Still 2 massive games coming up after this one. The semi-finals where things really start to get serious. If you're not pumped up for that one, when will you be? Norway certainly were pumped up in the second period, and it was a big turn up from them compared to the first. And they've got to make sure they're not too disappointed they didn't score.
No, you have to keep shots on goal, keep doing what you're doing, because it's going to pay off at some point. And if it doesn't pay off, at least you can look in the mirror and know you did the best you could do.
Italy perhaps a bit fortunate they survived. A couple of scares in that, another penalty kill that it had to successfully see off.
That's a nice play by Bacca.
Makes it look so easy, doesn't he? Offloading it down to Varnes, and maybe wasn't on the favoured side there. It was easier to block for Italy.
Rolf-Einar Pedersen putting it in extra gear, overdrive to stop that one.
There's Pedersen again.
Oh, bad pass.
Just not really taking that extra second to think about things today. But certainly some of the younger assets in the Norwegian firing line, Bacca included, very good indeed. Puck still alive there. It looked like it may just be tossed into the Norwegian bench, but play still continuing. You always feel as though Italy try and make the game a bit scrappy, because that's when they're most likely to keep it even and nick a goal.
Yeah, I think that's their best chance. keep it as simple as possible. I don't think they have the same talent from number 1 player to number 15. Oh, they're calling that. That was rung around from, oh, he beat it again. Good forechecking on the hustle.
Solberg, the captain, is the one spearheading things. The free man as well there, which is Bogler. Bogler still just teasing the Italians and going all the way and just couldn't find the target. Did everything right.
And nobody picked him up. He just was like dipsy doodling on a Sunday night practice. You know, they don't have hitting on Sunday night practices, and that's exactly what happened there.
Well, Italy just seemed at 6s and 7s there. No one reacting to the situation. Maybe they won't be able to get away with that again. Still, Atano's made a lot of saves, but no matter how good you are as a goaltender, you still need that protection.
Yeah, you want to close up the middle and help your players a little there. They did nothing. Bogle picks it up, and it was just like, it looked like he was going, well, let me go a little further. Well, let me go a little further. Well, if they're going to let me go a little further, I'm going to go.
Norway with a strong start to the third period, just like in the second. And Italy, it's not pretty from them, but they're getting the job done, just about.
That was a nice move, left hand to right hand.
Boy, just trying to make it progress on that far side and ideally get away from the board. Good play from Italy, though.
Oh, nice move.
Good stick handling as well from Kaufman. Well, there you go. Shoot from range. They did it there.
Another big rebound. Nobody in to test him, though.
Planker getting his teeth stuck into Solberg. And another big hit coming from Italy. A bit more aggression from them, which is required. Calageras, they're almost doing the freestyle on his back. He couldn't keep possession of the puck. And the dunk long there.
Solberg with a heavy hustle again.
Gone for icing this time, though.
Yeah, he couldn't get it there because it spun around and went to the right of the goal. Still Atano. Got a little kids in the crowd enjoying themselves. There's another one. You know, it just shoot it in. He can't hold a shot clean. Everything's got a little leak of a rebound.
Well contested face-off there. Italy just getting the edge on it. Not making enough of it. There will be potential recovery on the near side of possession. I feel as though Italy just don't get a phase where they pin Norway back, and here come Norway now, released it the other way. Solberg, they only have one option because the defensemen are changing behind him, but Bogler is enough. And the rest of the cavalry will try and join in once the puck is unglued from that far board. Annika shoved into the board on that far side there, and Italy are able to dig it out and clear again. Pedersen being cool and calm under pressure, as he has all his career. The outlet pass hasn't been great, but he's found a red jersey. That will go for icing.
Another icing.
I do feel as though when the Italians just get under the skin of Norway, that Norway don't really know how to respond. They want to play a bit more of an attractive style of hockey than Italy, let's say.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on right now. They're just, they get kind of a little panicked and toss the puck down and give up an icing.
Again, Italy are the ones winning it. Showing a bit more grit in the battle than maybe they did in the quarterfinals against Korea. Been able to score all the way through this tournament, have the Italians.
Oh, it's his chance. Oh, that was a big stop.
Well, it seemed for all the world they were going to score there. It was large, and you have to credit Johan Grodin for making himself as big as possible. Biggest chance that Italy have had, no doubt, in this period so far. Bogler just not getting it. Larch nearly did. Good save from the stopper. Scores still 0-0. 10:19 left on the clock in the third and final period of regulation here at the Ostrava arena. Norway 0, Italy 0, but Italy beginning to apply a bit of pressure onto the gas, and maybe the chance here. Kaufmann just coming unstuck by Bakker. Well, we've not mentioned his name too much in this final period, but goodness me, he's been a mainstay of the Norway side so far in this game. Certainly likely to be the match winner. On quite a few occasions he's come up trumps defensively as well. Big forecheck coming in there from Kaufmann, who felt as though he was being impeded when in the face-off circle, and he's still stuck in there now. Thankfully, a linesman coming in to make sure things don't get too ugly there. Larch putting it into the centre, no Italian reacting. This is Italy's best phase of the final period. Can they get a goal from it? Good check coming in from the Norwegians, and it will be swiped clear there from the blade of Hamra. Solberg again leading the charge forwards, but changes were being made behind him, so he had no support. And it's got a very even feel to it, this one. The Italians will be wary that it is at this part of the game against the Czech Republic where they started to fall apart, with those goals for the home nation coming in the final period in that 4-0 defeat. They'll be looking to show their stamina here. You can see the appeal there for holding against Hamra, who's already been in the penalty box. It was a long while before Kaufmann was released. The officials seeing nothing untoward with it. Italy just winning these 50-50 battles right now. De Pauli, Solberg coming in. There will be a penalty coming up against Solberg here. The Italians will look to try and get the goal anyway. Another range strike coming in towards Grolin, who was parried. And, well, he's going to be left a little bit bare now for the next couple of minutes, because Norway are going to be down a player. And going into the penalty box will indeed be the captain. Solberg in there. And a real chance now for the Italians to show what they can do. See the shot coming in just after that delayed penalty was called. Teeing against Solberg. As we've said many a time this week, that is the penalty that is unique to para ice hockey, using the end of your sledge to go into the opposition side on. It's dangerous. It's not always purposeful, no doubt about it. As Calageris looks to unleash one, and again, 6s and 7s was Grolin, who was just skidding around there, but was grateful to see the puck cleared away. Italy wanting to grab this one by the horns now. And they've worked it well, or so I thought. De Pauli, though, was let down by teammates there for being offside. And Solberg will sit out the next 90 seconds. This is it. Side on he comes into De Pauli there. And that a clear decision for the referee, Andrew Bethman, to put Solberg into the box. And it would be Solberg to lead this sort of charge here with the forecheck, which Norway have dumped long. Bakker will look to apply a bit of pressure instead. Flanker. He's accidentally found Calageris when he wanted to go for the next white jersey along. Italy unable to recover that. This is a game, though, at the moment, which is going the way Norway would like on the penalty kill. Just under a minute of it remaining. And Norway will be happy with that as well, because Italy having to go for the ambitious. And Macri, disgusted with the pass he's just made there. He dumped it needlessly long. It goes for icing. And on the shorthand, it will be Norway up the other end to contest with this face-off. And just under 45 seconds left of the penalty kill. Norway are doing it very well so far, and it really has summed up the game. Both teams have had a couple of power plays each, but they just haven't had the offensive threat for whatever reason to make the most of it. Italy maybe could now though. De Pauli keeping it alive. Norway just getting stuck in and plugging the centre though to clear away.
It's almost like they're playing for overtime, Jono.
Well, you'd be surprised if that was the case after such a long week. But neither team just showing that cutting edge to find a winner. And you feel as though the next goal really would go at some way to finding who will be the winning team here.
Leaked out, hit the Italian there. Oh.
Now both teams back at full strength. Norway probably with the best penalty kill of the game so far, but Italy not helping themselves out at all there. And that will be their frustration.
Nice move there on the boards.
Just under 6.5 minutes remaining of the final period. Still no goals here at the Ostrava 2019 World Para Ice Hockey Championships. This is the battle for 5th place. Two teams that missed out on a semi-final spot tonight. And of course, you're coming to the end of the week and you're not going to be at your optimum performance, but you have to say there have been signs as to why they're not going to be there tonight. I tell you what, if that had gone in, it would have been worthy though of being in the last 4.
That just was a little, maybe about a foot or two over the crossbar. Good try though.
Italy not coherent enough once again on the counter, and Bakker will happily steal that.
I think one goal might be all we need here.
Well, Bakker has been the most likely throughout the match to produce that, but the Italians have kept him quiet in this final period. Stilatano will be happy about that, because at one point it was a one-man job to keep the Norwegian number 22 at bay.
There's another ice.
It's another ambitious diagonal slot forward, and it's gone for icing. That's the second Italy have done in as many minutes, and it's almost a sign that they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, I think it might just take one of those stinky little bounces to end this game, or a shootout. Not a big fan of the shootout when I was in net. I love the shootout up here in the broadcast booth, though.
Well, these two had to go to the shootout in the first day of the Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. And it was Italy winning on that occasion. This man who's about to get the puck now was unable to hit the target, although it has to be said, no one in the Norway team hit the target during that. They have a lot of flair, Norway. Unfortunately, just don't hit the target often enough.
Yeah, the sad part is every time he took a penalty shot or had a breakaway on me, he never shot wide. What's up with that?
Well recovered, and it's Varnes, just couldn't scoop it into the centre. How many times have Italy done that though? Just hit the back of their own teammates.
Nobody even knows where it is. I bet you it leaked down into somebody's sled or in their chest. Yeah, 27's going. I think it's inside me, but I don't know where it is.
Well, while we try and find the puck, we'll go to a commercial break as we come to the final part of this. Norway 0, Italy 0. Coming to some crucial minutes in this game, the final 4.5 of them. One goal should do it. Although you wouldn't be surprised with this sport that one goal is all that's needed to just release the floodgates for a few more afterwards for either team.
And we've seen that this week. We've seen one become 3 real fast. Nice play by Barnes.
Pedersen surveys the seam.
Oh!
Just goes from deep.
Used the screen of the defense in front of Solitano.
Must have seen that really late here, and Italy don't look comfortable. Kaufman wanted to get it as long as possible, didn't really get the power on it he was aiming to get.
When in doubt, fire it down and just chase it.
Calm from Planka. Better from Italy, just trying to open up the spaces here, which is easier said than done.
Big hit, takes 2 Italians out for the price of 1.
Pedersen and Kaufman were about to meet, but Pedersen just flicking it nonchalantly back for Bacca, who returns the favour. Tight spaces Norway are working with here. It's going to come all the way back to their own zone now.
You know what, I don't get that, Jono. You know, Pedersen, I've talked about him a lot this week. Oh, here's that chance. Pedersen has it, he waits. He uses the screen. If he shot that another 2.5 feet higher, that might have gone in the top corner. But I don't get that firing it down and icing it, and now you have to take a draw in your zone. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, said at this similar point in the second period, the game's coming to a crescendo. It's building up. There's got to be a goal at some point. Oysef there took his both eyes completely off the puck. Ready to change. He's off the ice now, thankfully without any damage for him and his Norway colleagues. Varnes takes it nicely. Can he open things up for Pedersen? Perhaps. Quick change onto the left and lucky taken out.
Lucky that wasn't a tee. Pedersen's looking at the ref and his eyes could kill, boy. Wow.
Caligaris with a switch under the sledge, and Planka was using that with the wrong side there to gather it.
Pedersen goes to the referee and he is furious, and that was a tee. He got absolutely hammered there when he was trying to sneak down. He's furious. He's right. He's absolutely right. Because he would have had a break. He would have gone clean through. And the Norwegian clipped him with the front of the sled. He's still at him. He's upset.
Well, that's been Hegde red in the face at the moment, but he's trying to keep his cool the side of the ice. It's a game that Norway certainly will feel that they've earned a victory in.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Did not take the chances in the second period.
They've been the better team, there's no doubt, but the better team doesn't always win.
Italy have steel and experience, and they may just steal this game if they have that one opportunity they can take. Make easy work of that, it has to be said. Comes back to him again to try and clear away Radisa. Patience, the virtue for Italy, but just not finding the outlet up the other end. Backer always there.
Oh, collision on the 409.
Massive hit between the two, goodness me. Head-on collision. As we're into the final 2 minutes. If you're gonna score, you do it now. Solberg, well, he wanted to give it his main man Backer, but he wasn't ready. Pedersen, he certainly is. Needs support. Solberg lost his stick in there. Pedersen just taking the scenic route and ultimately having his pocket picked. Now have Italy got the drive to go down the other end and nick this one.
It seems like nobody wants to score right at the moment.
Backer, just a heavy first contact from him, and it always meant the task of controlling the puck was going to be tough. Italy have got Norway exactly where they want them here.
Heavy forecheck there, one man in.
Well, it might open up for Solberg here. Trying to get away from Macri, has as well. Good defensive work from the Italian.
Absolutely, flicks it out into the neutral zone where it's safe.
But for how long? Here's Oysef. Offside appeals from the Italian bench. Well, the officials don't take heed. The Italians back in good number.
That was a nice play, very smart play. This could be the chance.
This could be the moment they've been waiting for, bearing through, and the big save from the Norwegian rookie. Grolin did really well. That was his moment, and goodness me, he'll feel great after that.
Absolutely, that was a big stop.
Now Bakker. Can Norway turn defence into attack here right at the deft? There's 18 seconds to play. Pedersen, side
the side of the
netting.
net.
Stilatano may have got a sniff of that. Solberg is waiting for a teammate. No one in the crease. Desperation, panic, and ultimately no goals at the end of this one.
We're going to overtime, Jono. We're going to overtime. The last 20 seconds were like unbelievable.
Well, we didn't really want to believe it, but ultimately it has happened that we are going to overtime. You feel as though from period one it was always going to be the case, but Caligaris could have made it so different.
And he's their big guy, Caligaris. He scored some huge goals. Little slip off, Caligaris comes in, he pushes it ahead, he takes his time, and it just catches the Norwegian goaltender.
Pedersen's angle wasn't great, was it?
No, he couldn't have shot there. Wow. So we're going OT. I'm pretty sure that the 5-6 game will be like a regular preliminary OT, 5 minutes. And I think the semifinals are 10, and the final is 15.
We're back with that shortly after this break. Just like on the first day of Pyeongchang 2018, Norway and Italy are going to go to overtime. 10 minutes separating these two sides from another shootout. And you have to say it would be fitting if we went to a shootout, because Stilatano, who you see on the screen right now, and Grolin for Norway, the two goaltenders, they've been the main actors in this play so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And my mistake there was 5 minutes in the preliminary round, overtime the whole way through. There'll be the 10 minutes the rest of the way through, except the gold medal game, which will be 15, a full period with a flood.
So 10 minutes more for these two teams, unless one of them manages to find that elusive goal. Golden goal.
We also have 4-on-4, not 5-on-5. We drop a man in overtime.
And already Bakker trying to maximise the extra space.
Nice defensive play by the Italian there.
And surely this is a format that favours the attackers.
I think it favours the Norwegians. They have more of an offensive threat. The Italians have Caligaris, but the Norwegians have a lot more. Whether that happens or not. Oh, there's a bad pass.
There'll be tired defensive minds out there, and tired upper bodies as well. Pedersen just trying to dish something out here and make Stilatano struggle. Come up against worse than that so far today.
Oh yeah, that was a simple stop. Oh, bad play there.
Maybe the chance for Varnes. Well, Planka's recovered.
Wow, he would have not been a happy camper there.
He was treading on a plank for a moment there, Planka, but he's got away with it. But now Varnes, Planka making a change, has left the space for the number 9 to come through, but he couldn't get it under his spell. Stuck under the stick, and Italy have cleared, but they're on the back foot.
Exciting minute and a half so far.
Bacca. You really fancy him to be the key man now. Solberg with a nice layoff.
Absolutely.
Oyseth, he wants support, might go alone and just couldn't find the far corner.
Problem with a shot like that, it rims around and comes back out in the neutral zone. You've just wasted a good opportunity. Get it on net, make the goaltender make a stop.
Well, Norway surely, with the way they've played this game, will just want to get this done as soon as possible.
Oh, we could have a problem here.
De Pauli, he's got the shot away. What a left-handed save from Groling.
Another big stop by the Norwegian goalie. Man, the pressure's been on, and he is here to say, I'm ready to play, coach.
Pedersen just going 360 and finding Bugler. The Italians are all over the place defensively, but they've managed to just get the bodies in the way. Well, the drums are pounding on the far side, so are the hearts of those on the ice right now. 5th place up for grabs.
Put himself offside there. You want to let that puck go a little further and skate to it. Couple of good stops there. That was one that Solberg will want back. Well, they're calling a intentional offside there. Wow, that doesn't happen very often. This could hurt the Italians if the Norwegians win the draw. The Italians win it.
Italy have been used to defending in this game so far. Not really attacking. De Pauli coming unstuck there.
Oh, we almost hit the referee.
Goodness me, there was some zip on that as well. Now Planka.
Oh,
De
nice.
Pauli's been found!
He just missed the top corner.
Scoops it over from such close range. Well, we've said that Groling likes to lay himself flat early, and De Pauli tried to find the roof of the net there. Just got under it too much.
Wow. That could have been it in a nutshell.
Mistakes already in overtime have been made, showing that there is that extra bit of nerve out there, but also a lot of tired minds as well. Such a taxing sport this, over the course of these championships as well, coming to the final few minutes for these two teams' campaigns.
Yeah, they only have 6 and change and possibly a shootout left in their 2019 adventure in Ostrava. They'll remember the good things. They'll be a little upset at the bad, but they'll get back to the drawing board for next year, as both of them are staying in the A pool. That's critical for your program. Sweden and Japan are moving down to the B pool, Jono.
Be interested to see who takes their place as well. Germany will be keen to get back in amongst it. But it's these two European heavyweights that are doing battle right now to secure 5th spot, and they aren't that far away from getting that, either team. 1 goal is all that stands between them and 5th spot at these World Championships.
Pedersen fires it around. We'll slow down a little, they're getting tired. Here's an icing.
I mean, how do you negotiate a 10-minute overtime? Because it is a case of just wanting to get the job done as early as possible, surely.
Yeah, I think the first 5 minutes you want to go hard, you want to try to score, and if you haven't, you want to play for the shootout or see if there's a mistake. You don't want to go for it because it's 4-on-4. You're getting tired. They're not playing a lot of guys in 4-on-4. They're not going to trust that third line guy in a 4-on-4. Just the way it is.
Well, the crowd certainly is still full of life here.
A lot of Norwegian flags in the crowd.
Yeah, a couple of Italians as well. Good numbers have travelled across the continent. Norway was such a proud history, of course, in this sport. Goal back in 1998. These different times now, but they're still up there, wanting to make sure their name is in amongst it in the top 5. Italy, a more recent programme, debuting in 2006 at their home games, and they haven't looked back since. And you could say these two meeting each other at a crossroads, and they just can't be separated whenever they play each other.
Yeah, they've come a long way since Torino in 2006. We played both of them, and they've come a long way. Here's a chance.
Here's Bacca, just a dump there towards Ostrava, but he had his back to goal. And then he has his pocket picked, and Caligaris wants to make up for the earlier miss here. He's up against Bacca.
Both fast skaters.
Well, I think anyone but Bacca there, and Caligaris would have been away in a similar position to the back end of normal time.
You're 100% right there, Jono.
Kaufman and Oysef making sure no love is lost between those. De Pauli keeping it alive. Maybe a bit of hesitancy here in the Norwegian net.
You want to freeze that in OT. Yeah, so John, if we go to a shootout, it'll be 3 shots for each team. If there's no goals or if it's tied after 3, switch ends and it's sudden death. A lot of pressure on the goalies. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the shootout. Been in some that we won, and I've been in some that we've lost.
There's Hamra for Norway. USA against Norway back in 2002, I think it was. That was quite a shootout as well in that gold medal match final in the Paralympic Games.
US and Norway. US won 6-5. They had the great Manny Guerrero Jr. in goal. Rick Middleton coached the team. Good friend of mine, played with the Boston Bruins. Great guy.
Here's Bacca. Trying to take the sting out of things. Doesn't find a red jersey.
He kept it in.
Good control from Macri. What can he do with it now? Difficult, but well, Bogler's just showed him around the outside. Tries to drag it across. Is it loose still? Well, it's been controlled by the Italians. Well, Macri will have another go. Norwegian tents currently pitched inside their own territory. They don't want to be there. Just over 3 minutes remaining of overtime. A winning goal as elusive as ever, it seems.
Bogel's been the best Norwegian so far. Here could be a chance, 3-on-2 if he skates hard.
Well, here he is now, Bacca to his left, Varnes to his right. May go alone, and they've stayed on side as well.
Nice
Varnes on the outside to win it.
It's over, it was in. It was in. Far post. What a shot by the Norwegians, Jono. It's all over, and the Norwegians will end up in 5th. The Italians will go home in 6th. They let it slip away with only 2:49 left to a shootout. And they're hugging their goalie, and he deserves it. He made some big stops, some real big stops.
Well, despair for the Italians after such a long week and such an arduous game as well. It is Morten Varnes with 2:49 left in overtime, and what a sublime finish. At such a taxing part of the game, the presence of mind there to find him was perfect, and the finish sublime.
Well, that was 2 things. A great play by the Norwegian, slip-off pass to Barnes, look at here, and a bad play by the Italian. You had one there. You don't leave the man. There was no point. Look at here right there. 2 Italians leave Barnes wide open. Barnes has been playing for too long. In and out. Great call by the ref. He saw it hit the back, come out. But the Italian would have been better off to just leak off and stay with Barnes. 1 man on 1 man. No need to go 2. Left Barnes wide open, and he put it in and ended it. And Norway will go home with a little better feeling, their first win of the tournament, as they were 0-4 coming into this game.
Well, credit to Italy's defence and particularly their goaltender Santino Stilitano for bringing it to this long anyway, because Norway certainly threatened for a long time during.
Barnes is the player of the game. You know what, something like this, the guy who scored the goal was going to get it. I think Stilitano gets it for the Italians. I've been wrong all week though, Jono. Alan was making fun of me all week.
Well, Morten Varnes takes his sport very seriously. When we were saying in the build-up to Pyeongchang 2018, he trains 5 days a week. He won't be the only one. It just shows you how much physical presence you need and stamina as well to be good at this sport. As the Italians have Emanuele Parolin.
Oh, wrong again. Wearing that popular man bun in Italy. I never, even when I had hair, Jono, I couldn't do the man bun.
What a contrast of emotions, though. Bittersweet, this, isn't it, to say the least?
Yeah, you know what? You'll get home and you'll think about the good things that happened, but you never want to lose your last game. Take that nice picture.
You could just feel as well the stadium, that pocket of Norwegians on the far side, really erupt when that went in. They'd been waiting for a goal for so long, we all had. And there it was. And the Norwegians will be proud at the end of that one, 5th here at the World Championships.
Well, Jono, the Norwegians are a very strong nation when it comes to para ice hockey. At least on a good note, it was good to hear their anthem once. They go 1 win and 4 losses. If they would have lost this one, it had been the first time ever that their national anthem was not played.
Yeah, and certainly they were perched proud as well as that rang around the Ostrava arena. Italy, you have to say that after 2 wins in their first 2 games, 4-0 against Sweden and 5-1 against Japan, ultimately became unstuck against sides that were just marginally better. The Czech Republic, 4-0 of course, with those goals all coming in the final period, and that 6-3 defeat to Korea has put them in this position. They won't be in the top 4. They won't be now in the top 5. It will be Norway 5th at the end of this one. Norway 1, Italy 0. Well, the Norwegians there paying tribute to those that have travelled from Scandinavia to Eastern Europe, and the Italians as well. Those with the green, white and red flag deserve credit as well. Certainly for being able to be with us all the way through that game, but it was so gripping. You knew 1 goal would do it. Of course, when you go to overtime, and the golden goal, which Norway were able to get thanks to number 9, Morten Varnes. But certainly credit going as well to Bugler for that layoff for him as he tore through and superbly finished Santino Stilitano. And it means that Norway will come away from the World Para Ice Hockey Championships 2019 in 5th position, and Italy having to settle for 6th.
And here's some of the highlights from the game. Solberg with a first shot that Stilitano makes the stop and drops it. Good shot on the Norwegian goalie, but he lets it leak out. There's his back. He was the strongest player of the game with a really nice going right, shoots left. Great stop by the Norwegian goalie. Another stop, he let it leak out. At the first couple periods, he was letting rebounds go. He tightened up as we went along. Here's another one by Bakke. That was a big stop. Used his chest pad there. Bogle to Bakke here. Nice stop. Almost picks it up. That was a good shot. Bouncer, you never know. Shoot it on net. Hits a rut in the ice. That was one that almost went in. Got his chest on it. Stopped it. And there's the winner. In OT. Martin Varnes puts it in. Back bar and out. Faster than you could say. Thank you, Ostrava.
Just see with Varnes' reaction there, he's almost too tired to even celebrate it. But Norway have done it. A 1-0 victory against Italy. You can see how even it was ultimately with the shots on goal, and we said all the way through the game how important it was for both goaltenders to be at their maximum level. And Stilitano and Grolin, to their credit, certainly were. It was an enthralling game. Certainly not the amount of goalmouth action we're likely to see later on tonight here at the Ostrava Arena. We still have 2 more games to come, and they both concern the semi-final. Who will be at tomorrow's gold medal game? And we hope that you will join us for that. We thank you very much, as ever, for joining myself, Jonathan Bell, and Paul Rosie Rosen for this one. Norway then getting 5th, but who and in what order will be taking those top 4 spots? We'll be finding out a little bit more later on today. 4:30 local time, we'll have Canada against the Republic of Korea, and then closing us off at 8 o'clock local time tonight, the host nation against the USA. But our next game, Canada against Korea, we hope you can join us for that. But for now, it's a goodbye from Ostrava.